and my friend Albino Cheese Monkey, where we bring our Jank standard decks against each other each week to determine who is the Jank King. So as always, I'll ask Monkey, what are your colors and deck name today?
We are back in one of my favorite color pairs of all time, Orjav, doing one of my favorite things of all time, which I'll leave for you to find out. This is Rule of Two Orjav.
Okay.
Questions? Well, good.
Favorite color pair of yours? My questions will be answered by gameplay, I hope. I am playing Inn of the Plains in Sultai. We just had a set released focused around these enemy wedge triple color combinations. I wanted to sneak in a little bit of spice here for this Sultai deck. Ended up not being too much for this particular strategy, but it'll be very fun, and I hope you'll be along for the ride for this one. We're just going to be keeping some inns here on the plains. You know, you never know when someone might walk by and need an inn. So, looking at our starting hands, this will be our blind best of one. All we know about each other's decks is what we've just said. So,
Well,
do you keep or mull?
this looks good. This deck doesn't have a lot of bad hands. It's one of those kind of decks, and it has better hands. This isn't one of the better ones, but not a bad one. So we'll keep it.
All right. I also keep. In a vacuum, I would keep this hand. Against your particular, what I suspect your deck will be doing, based on the fact that you've played a Rule of Two deck previously.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
interesting,
sure I would
isn't
keep,
it? What am I doing?
Well, let's keep some ins. Show
For
our
those
talent.
who might not remember, I played a Boros version called Rule of Two Boros, or Rule of Two B. This is Rule of Two O. That one was cast off the top, in case you missed that. I do love
I missed it
talent.
utterly.
Oh man, you got double
I
talent.
have two talents on board. I'm so
talented. Yeah. Sure, let's do this.
Okay. Well, I always clench a little bit when Amalia's on board. So we're going to try to give her nowhere to run.
Yeah, gotta let that happen. Now, why is she banned in Explorer? Do you know?
Because there's an infinite combo with her and Wild Growth Walker, which is a 2-drop green creature.
I guess that makes some semblance of sense.
So,
I
basically win the game by having two mana creatures on board. It's a little bit of a frustrating time for some folks.
I think her only downside is that she gets bigger than 2 power pretty quickly. And that's right, I said downside.
Planning to blow up some boards?
Ben, how much do you remember about Rule of Two?
I remember Raise the Past. I remember Delny. I remember Charming Prince. I remember Split Skin Doll, now that you showed it. Delny off the top with Assemble the Players, so those players be assembling.
I actually regret ditching that one land. For reasons.
Why? What would a 5th land do in a deck that's based around 2-power creatures?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh man, look at these lords lording it over the end.
I got Warlords.
My
arter's getting beefy.
Okay.
I probably should have timed this differently, chat.
Yeah.
I don't want that double triggering, so we're trying to give Delny nowhere to run.
Well, I'm gonna get this value out of it now while I can.
Yeah, it's possible I shouldn't have waited, but I don't begrudge you a single token creature soldier 1/1 too badly. All right. Well, that's an interesting draw.
So I think you're going to recognize about half of the deck. But I'll explain more about that in the deck tech. But I feel like I'm in a good spot right now, unless you can make me lose 16 health in the next 2 or 3 turns.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can.
Alright. How do I want it?
But you say, okay, yeah, go ahead.
I gotta think for a second. Because you probably have removal. Let's do this.
Mighty play.
Off the top.
Reference chat. Assemble the players allows a creature with power 2 or less to be cast from the top of library once per
This
turn.
one's summoning 6, so I don't mind doing that now.
Oh, that's extra good with resolute reinforcements, because reinforcements are flash speed.
Yep. Resolute Reinforcements allows me to do ETB triggers on your turn, which is why I like it. But you forced my hand before.
All right. Well, you're right. I don't think I can bring you to 0 life in the next turn or 2. But I can do something else.
You're gonna bring me to 0 cards? What does this do?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, what is this card? Who is this lady? Oh, I had you.
Poisoned!
Oh, if you didn't kill Delny, you would have been dead.
Your downfall is complete. And yeah, probably. I think looking at your deck, you'll have a pretty good matchup against mine, but
Well, why don't I go
sometimes...
first then? And I can explain what's going on here.
All right. Here we go. Let's go to our deck techs, folks. Now that we've had our blind best of 1, we'll do our deck tech and then some best of 3s with intense sideboarded action. Rule of 2B first, or 2-0 first.
2-0, yeah. All right, so for those who weren't around for episode, I don't remember what number it was now, one of the earlier episodes, I introduced a deck called Rule of 2B, and you probably missed it, but when I was explaining the deck, I said, and just so you know, Rule of 2 isn't just a deck, it's a lifestyle. Well, the payoff after all this time is here, because we're now in our second Rule of 2 deck. So, what is Rule of 2? Rule of 2 states that some things withholding, like Bloodthirsty Conquerors, we don't really want things to be above 2 power, because that means if our combos aren't working, we could just beat them in the face and they can't block us. Because Delny, if you remember, says creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. In addition, and this is actually the more important reason, if an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So, Rule of 2 is at its core an engine where you play a white as an engine with Delny, with Assemble the Players, with Hinterland Sanctifier, with Charming Prince, with Resolute Reinforcements, and with Split Skin Doll and Enduring Innocence, Raise the Past, and Expel the Interlopers. That's pretty standard for Rule of 2. In this case, I've also added Sheltered by Ghost because I want the lifelink. Then, I've also splashed in a case of the Uneaten Feast, because unlike usual Rule of 2 decks where the Hinterland Sanctifier is there to keep me alive while I try to do my thing, life gain is the point of this deck. So I put in Case of the Uneaten Feast as a more hard to remove 5th copy of Hinterland Sanctifier, and also it lets me grab Delny out of the graveyard in a pinch, which is nice. If you remember Rule of 2 Boros, I was doing that with Helping Hand. So what makes this one different from Rule of 2 Boros, which was based around massing creatures and tremors and hitting them in the face and going full out with the doll, all aggro attack? This one is more about the attacking is an alternate win condition. We're playing some black cards, namely Starscape Cleric, the most important card in this deck. Bloodthirsty Conqueror is cool, and that's why I put it in as a one-of, but that's not usually how I win the games. Usually, they're dead before that point because of the Starscape Cleric and all of the triggers off of Hinterland Sanctifier in Case of the Uneaten Feast, and Elias Core Sadistic Pilgrim as well, just for even more, which is my 5th copy of Starscape Cleric. He also has the nice added bonus of that if you're killing my stuff, you'll also take burn damage. And Amalia is a draw engine in this deck. She is the only one allowed to get above 2 power because I don't usually attack with her unless I notice they have an open board and she's really been pumped up. Why do we play her? Because I learned that wards fire twice when you have Delny on the board. Did you know that, Ben?
Huh. I think I knew that, but it's pretty rare to encounter it.
So if you want to remove Amalia and Delny is out, you have to pay 6 life.
Or they have nowhere to run.
Yeah, or have, something else. But at that point, if she's become a big enough problem, nowhere to run, she can get bigger than nowhere to run pretty quick.
That's very true.
Fast.
That's very true.
So yeah, I mean, this deck is I play cards and you die. It's pretty straightforward. I'll admit it might not be the jankiest deck out there because I think gain life, lose life is a pretty well-established and well-known combo, but it's one of my favorites because it's the first one I ever found on my own accidentally, because I haven't been playing Magic for long. And remember me saying Orzhov, it has a special place in my heart because bats were the first deck I ever loved. So, yeah, pretty straightforward.
Very cool. You're mashing some combo decks that have been seen before, like the Conqueror combo or Raise the Past combo with some new angles, such as using Delny. I don't really see Delny being used.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's the heart of this deck, basically. I really think that's cool.
So that's Rule of 2 Orzhov. Will there be more Rule of 2s in the future? Undoubtedly. So we've seen Boros and Orzhov now.
All right. And coming on over to the Sultai end of things, we are running the Inn of the Plains. The core card for our deck is Innkeeper's Talent. Let me switch the format for this thing. There we go. Innkeeper's Talent is a counters synergy card. It starts off just putting +1/+1 counters on your creatures, and we like that. We don't have a ton of creatures in our deck, but it's part of our strategy. But if you level it all the way to level 3, some interesting things start happening with counters of any kind, such as loyalty counters on planeswalkers. That is what happened fortuitously in our blind best of 1. My favorite way to win, maybe not my favorite, but one of the most efficient ways to win is level up Innkeeper's Talent all the way, which states that basically whenever you put counters on something, put twice as many. Then you play Vraska, Betrayal Sting, a planeswalker. Planeswalkers get loyalty counters when they enter the battlefield. Vraska enters with 6. She enters with 4 if you pay life instead of black mana in her Phyrexian mana cost, because she's a completed planeswalker. But it doesn't really matter for our combo, because if we have a fully leveled Innkeeper's Talent, no matter whether we pay the alternate cost or not, she enters with 8 or 12 counters. She's not even correct. I think the doubling happens before the halving. Yeah. So it's 10 or 12 counters. Then. It works. What works is you can cast her for just 5 and 2 life, and she'll come in with 10 loyalty, and you can immediately -9 her. If you -9 her, she gives your opponent 9 poison counters, except that is also doubled by Innkeeper's Talent to 18. And 10 is the magic number when it comes to poison counters, as we saw last game. So that is our biggest combo. Well, we got some great other ones. We have some other black planeswalkers in our Inn of the Plains with big ultimates that you never really get to in normal play, or it's rare to. It's hard to. But Innkeeper's Talent makes them just come down and immediately ultimate. Liliana Dreadhorde General just basically deletes the opponent's permanents. They get to keep 1 of each type. Liliana with Veil deletes half the opponent's permanents. They get to choose which half. So that is our Planeswalker side of things. We also have a minor, just level 1 Innkeeper's Talent plan with Stormchaser's Talent, making an Otter that was a 1-drop that's nice to put counters on. We have some copies of Sabsunin carrying over from last week. Goddess is here. Sabsunin loves counters being put on her every round, because when she starts the round with odd counters, she draws you cards. If she starts the round with even counters, she's able to attack. It's slightly different. I guess I didn't explain it well, but the card is in front of you if you'd like to read it, and hopefully we get to see it in action.
Check out his Brawl deck from last week also.
Yeah. We played Subsidiary Standard Brawl. If you're looking for Standard Brawl content creators, we'll probably just do that about once per set, but with set releases coming 6 times a year, that will be plenty. For now, we're back to Standard with the new set release. All right, so those are our main 2 game plans. Then the question becomes, okay, we're winning on at least 5 mana. usually much later. How do we survive that long? And the answer is removal, like Nowhere to Run. Liliana of the Veil is early removal. Maelstrom Pulse is flexible removal. And we also ramp to get there with Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Up the Beanstalk supports our strategy by having all these 5-cost cards. Especially some of them can be cast cheaper. We can keep our hand gassed up. And we also have this town big enough because of the Bean synergy and the Storm Chaser's talent synergy. We don't have a lot of things to recur with Storm Chaser's talent from the graveyard besides this town. There's just the one of Maelstrom Pulse and some sideboard cards, but that's still good enough value. It's really nice to have the early creatures to put Innkeeper's talent counters on, and we do have plenty of other non-creature spells to trigger prowess on the Otter. So that's our synergy. Let's see if we can do what we did last time, or maybe showcase a different angle of our combo deck today as we go to the best of 3.
For reference, Ben, I shouldn't spoil it, but it wasn't Bloodthirsty Conqueror that would have killed you for 5 mana last game. I'll just put that out there.
5 mana? Is it specifically 5 mana?
It's specifically 5 mana, yeah. Let's see if I do it or if you can figure it out.
Well, I was just looking at your deck, but we'll see if chat gets there before I do. But
well, more accurately, if you hadn't have removed Delny, I think. Which is a problem, honestly. But, you know, sometimes Delny dies.
We don't have a ton of removal in this deck, if it makes you feel better. Just the Nowhere to Runs to start with and some Planeswalkers. We're not running Cut Down, Go for the Throat, all that stuff. Oh, this is a terrible hand.
Yeah, I don't like this hand.
We could probably get somewhere with this land here, folks, but
this is a silly hand, and I'm gonna keep it.
I think this will be good enough. Okay, our lands are looking a bit tapped. Tap those lands.
I'm gonna set up my draw.
Your Prince so charming.
I love Charming Prince. I like both of these things, but which one do I want to draw first? That one, probably. Actually, that one.
I think, folks, this will be a rough matchup for us. We did very well last time, but maybe we keep. Our opponent definitely has some advantages here.
I did do that to myself, missing the 3rd land drop, but I really wanted both of those cards, so. This deck has one on 3 mana before, so it's possible. Yeah, sure. That's the other beauty of this deck is that, like, you know, once they come in and do their thing, that's a good job. They did their thing.
Yeah, looking at my hand, I figured my little Otter is not going to do much besides trade with Split Skin Doll when you attack with it anyway, so might as well just see if you're willing to let the damage through. Okay, we did want this draw, but literally all our lands have been tapped so far.
Interesting.
Okay, folks, I think next turn we're going to do these 2 things. Our opponent missed land at least 1 round. They're down to half health, which I don't like. Does this change anything? No, I don't think it does.
How nervous should I be? I'm a little nervous.
I won't tell you.
All right.
I don't like that you have 5 power on board and 5 cards in hand. And I'm at half health.
I'm gonna get Delny off the top.
All right.
Unfortunately, all this health isn't gonna save me.
It might. I do have beatdown roots with like Subsunin. I'm going to give Delny Nowhere to Run. It's possible I should have just removed one of your attacking creatures. Well, I'll give you an interesting choice. How's that? I don't think I'm going to win this game, but I can make it interesting.
So, I don't know if you noticed, Ben, but they changed the starter decks a few weeks ago to the Foundation's starter decks. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
I noticed when a bunch of new decks appeared because they gave them to me for some reason. All right, so what's happening here? I get to keep these things or these things. Okay, I'm obviously going to keep my lands. Oh, wait, no, you choose what you're sacrificing. Okay, I'll sacrifice those.
I have made that mistake before, yep.
I'm glad I read.
All right, so Liliana's a 3-mana board wipe. We can vibe with that. All right, what do we need to do here? We've got an Overlord coming off Impend. I think what we actually do... What am I most scared of? I guess Sanctifier. Because of your life gain combos. We can't block with our dang cottage, so we're just going to chip in, get ourselves some food.
And I need both of those.
Get it some counters, pass turn.
All right.
Have you received Liliana's ultimate before? Out of curiosity?
No, that was the first time.
You just popped your Lily Cherry.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I'm glad I read it.
You did well for your first time. Sometimes only experienced players can handle Liliana.
Which version? That's the real question.
Well, I do have 2 in this deck, so hopefully we get the other one comes out to play. Big Lily. At least the biggest one in Standard. I think there's been plenty of Lilies over the years.
Sorry that took me so long to think about what I wanted to do.
Oh, you're good. I don't like how you have a full hand plus card advantage enchantment.
Alright, I like that. I didn't really want to do this now. But then I realized, whenever you play a Planeswalker, I'm going to die anyway, because you can use it immediately, and this doesn't have flash. So, let's just hit you.
Okay. Hit I have been.
It is nervous when you're playing 2 combos.
Yeah.
I guess this is, what did you call this? Like a combagro? That's a funny term.
We might have made a mistake, chat. Yeah. We needed an untapped land there or a game-winning Planeswalker.
I was running a lot more tap lands in this deck, and then I realized I was shooting myself in the foot, so I took most of them out with the exception of West Surveil land, I think. Do you have a way to stay alive?
I don't know. Priority check me. I pass priority. I will just show chat that even though we have Restless Cottage, my opponent's creatures with power 2 or less can't be blocked by my creature with power 3 or greater.
There it is.
I think I could have survived if I hadn't played out the second Beanstalk, but I was really hoping to top deck either an untapped land or a win con. I figured it was likely enough.
I mean, beans.
So now we sideboard.
What are the chances you sideboard in a bunch of little critters?
I already have a bunch of little critters in my deck. Have you met my otters?
That's true. Alright, I think I have some good tech in the sideboard. I can't believe I stuck this in the sideboard. Are you kidding me? Well, hopefully you get to see that.
Ray of Ruin? Is it
Yeah,
Ray
that's
of Ruin?
right. Get ready. I don't really need to make a
Not
whole
Ray
lot
of
of
Ruin.
changes, I don't think.
I definitely need to make some changes, but I'm deciding which.
I think I actually, yeah, I do need to change the removal package based on what I saw.
I don't think we're winning the game off of these.
And how much stuff did you end up doing on my turn? Not a whole lot, right?
Come and find out.
All right, here we come.
Do we want to play first? I guess so.
That's
All
a
right,
good
this
hand.
is keepable.
That's a really good opening hand, Ben.
Uh-oh. I think we keep that too.
That back street, so shadowy. Sure.
Just an innocent little talent here.
Let's do this.
Prince Charming, delighted to meet you.
I changed the order of them.
All right.
It doesn't tell you that. I just want you to know.
Oh, thanks for letting me know. I'm just gonna level up my game. Gonna land. I think for the mana base chat, if you take a look at it, I would invest a little bit more in Verge and Surveil lands. That's usually the best mana base for a slow 3-color deck.
I always feel weird playing more than just a couple of Surveil lands, though. I guess on a slower deck.
They're important because in a 3-color deck, any Surveil land will turn on all of your Verges. That's basically the calculation.
And they are better than the other things that have the... Oh, I wanted to cast that, but that's fine.
Resolute Reinforcements?
Yeah. It's not gonna...
Okay.
How do you feel about this?
I don't love it. At least you didn't offspring it.
No, that takes 5 mana.
Oh, I see. You're right. Okay.
There's something else I learned about Offspring when I built this deck.
I think we're just going to keep this game slow. Does Offspring... How is that worded? It's a trigger, isn't it?
You may pay an additional 2 as you cast the spell. If you do, when this creature enters, create a copy of it.
Yes, when it enters. Does that trigger Downley?
It does. Interesting, huh?
Okay, so I think you still have Resolute Reinforcements. So that means we should play this. And not this, chat. And I want to wait to play this until we have this or this in the graveyard. So we'll just do this.
All right. You got me.
Does that change our play? No, I don't think so. Just gonna surveil. Risky keep, but I think we keep.
Like that.
Better safe than sorry. All right. This isn't really how I wanted to do this, but I think we are going to cover things up. I wanted to take Delny from your graveyard, but I want to deny you the Enduring Innocence value. Right. So let's see what kind of sideboarding you did. Purging Stormbrood. When this creature enters the room, all counters from one target
Yeah.
creature. Sure.
I promise I didn't look at your deck before. It was just a
No,
cool
you're right, yes, sir.
dragon that I was like, you know what? This might be useful. Because I can remove all the counters from 2 creatures.
Okay. You have Lorens and Felidar Cubs. I don't like that.
I didn't sideboard in the Ray of Ruin yet, though.
Ray of Ruin.
Do I effectively, at this point, if I'm playing black, I only have a 14-card sideboard because one of them has to be Ray of Ruin? Is that how this works?
If you want to stick to the memes.
I'm getting a little bit sad about... Oh, you already know this is in my hand, so...
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, that was the thing, Ben. The Offspring triggers twice. So I never actually got to see how much damage happens when you have Hinterland and Delny and you Offspring this, because they usually die first, but the most I've seen is 17, but it was gonna keep going. Because then it Offsprings, and then you get another one, so they all trigger 3 times, but then they trigger twice, so it's 3 times 2 is 6, times 3 is 18, so probably 18 or more damage. Secret has been revealed.
Yeah.
Alright. You might remember this little guy as sideboard tech.
Yeah, I don't like that. Bye, talent. I think we made some misplays here, folks, but we should be able to make it up.
Does that matter? I should probably just hit you. I want your life total lower.
Okay. It means I can immediately take down the Leon again, get rid of your cleric.
Yeah, but you could have done that anyway.
No, well, but then I'd lose the Liliana, and I
That's fair,
kind of hoped
yeah.
to keep her. As it turns out, it was very good that you removed my talent, because I just top-decked Vraska. So that would have been game over.
Yeah.
But Vraska's good on her own. Card draw, and she pumps up my other planeswalkers.
This deck...
Proliferate, yeah.
If it doesn't get the card draw engine going, it can be a little rough.
I did my best to deny you card draw, taking your other Enduring Innocence out of the deck. All right, let's prolif. We can put in an Overlord. I think we're just going to see winning by damage this game. And we're getting a loyalty counter every round, so let's just keep your board clear and keep probability of combos low. Get to see our one of Prophet's Eidetic Memory. This is nice when we're drawing an extra card with Vraska each turn.
You got to see your one of...
Okay. Yep, we get to
Oh, I
see
know,
it for a little while.
could have killed the Overlord, technically, but it's fine.
Yeah, maybe you should have, but
I just got too funny for the meme.
it was funny. I'm going to proliferate on my Overlord and my Lily and my Vraska.
It wouldn't be jank
gonna-
if sometimes you just reject the optimal play for the silly one, right?
Reject optimal, embrace monkey. All right.
We have fun here.
But I'm ready to vacuum up your ghosts
Alright.
until you draw the next Lauren.
I'm just gonna keep playing whatever card I draw until I die. I don't really know
It
what
won't be
else
long.
to do.
What do we want here? It shouldn't matter. Do I use this? I guess I do.
Ah, card advantage.
What card advantage?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna plus with Lily and have discarded again.
Oh, nice. And then you can eat it.
Yep. Lily is a brutal card if you're not set up to deal with it. I learned that the hard way. I don't like her that much myself. Don't tell her I said that. But
I think I swapped out a removal package for a really heavy enchantment-based removal package, and I'm regretting it now.
no, the enchantment removal is one you think. Well, it prolonged the game. You would have died
Yeah.
without it.
Yeah, but the Sheltered by Ghost, I figured if your Planeswalkers came out, I would have been dead anyway. I don't know. We'll see. Let's sideboard some more.
All right.
All right, let me see
How do
what
we
you
feel
what
about
are you
these cards,
casting?
folks?
You can do that on your own turn.
I might rather have one of these.
You're not really running a bunch of instant speed stuff, so there's no reason to side that in.
Or is there?
What are you doing to me? You're making me question my life.
All right, I think we're good. Glad we had those sideboard sweepers. All right. Game 3 of our first best of one. Best of threes. My apologies.
That's good. Oh.
Your dog looks different.
That's a no-lander. What does he look like now for you?
It's got armor.
That's what he always looks like for me. He usually, but he
So much
usually looks like the Golgari one, right? For you.
Yeah, maybe he was bugged, but he looked like a sick puppy for a while. I saw last episode you had
Nope, he usually looks
evil rock pet.
That's right. Yeah, that was that was
April Fool's
intentional.
pet.
I always try to be a little silly with the making small tweaks to the what is the word I'm looking for?
Cosmetics.
Cosmetics for these Jank-Offs. And usually I try not to point it out until you know. All right.
I'm showing off my brilliant title, which I accidentally got earlier today.
Now who's the one that's
By winning a game with 0 cards in my library.
Now who's the one that's tapping lands?
If it's tapping it ain't happening. All right, folks, I don't know whether to just go for this angle or be safe and go for this angle. I think this one does give us something to do next turn if we don't want to do this. And this one helps us get there, but doesn't necessarily.
You know what?
I think we just try this.
You know what? This deck can also... I think I did it in Inherited Power as well. The greatest achievements was making life gain lands relevant.
You're scouring those barons.
Let me just go for it. I don't know what else to do here. I didn't
I
draw
like
anything
that.
that I needed.
All right, well, the card we just top deck meant we should have definitely made our other play last round. But we stay the course, I think. Just go there. And there. That's a good draw.
Alright, Ben. The time has come. Are you ready for the first Tarkir card of the series?
Please, bring it on.
It is
Including the Tarkir
the Great
cards.
Irration City, which lets me pay 2 mana to exile a card from my graveyard and create a token in case I need a quick ETB effect.
Oh, and that token has power 2 or less.
Yes, it does. So I run it as a one-of in emergency cases when I really need something to enter the board for reasons.
An untapped utility land with a color is pretty nice.
All right, in we go.
Choices. Okay. This play becomes much more impactful once we do more with this over here. This play isn't bad. But I'd rather just do it full cost. I think we can still get good value just doing this.
I don't like that. Let it be noted that I dislike that.
Well, you know from the way I was talking that I don't have Vraska in hand.
You know what other
Or else it
lands
wouldn't-
also make tokens? The other one!
Whoa, Tarkir!
That one came in tapped, though, because I didn't manage to find a swamp.
Well, that's a good draw.
This one creates 2 1/1 tokens that die. That's the price I pay for getting 2 triggers.
Because we have so many options. We survived.
I didn't get to my 5th land because it was a tap land.
Yeah. This might be the wrong decision, but...
Well,
hold
Ben.
my 8-7.
Good game, Ben.
This is going to kill me.
This is going to kill you.
It's possible yeah, I had a way out right here in my hand, but didn't play around it, I don't think.
See, who needs a bloodthirsty conqueror when you have cleric bat?
GG. All right.
So that was 13.
First
Most
best
I've
of
seen
3.
is 17. Like I said, I haven't done the math because, but I'm sure it could go to 18 or more based on the fact that 3 clerics come in. Each of them trigger 2 life gains from the Sanctifier, and then each of those 3. I don't want to do the math. Somebody do the math for me and put it in the comments, please. I want to know. I did it to somebody with 17 health, though. That's my current record. So we did it.
Glad you got to see the combo.
Man, is that the first time I've won a match?
No, you've won a best of 3 before.
Oh, okay. That's the first time I won the first one, though.
I don't think so.
Oh. It feels good. Is this what power janking feels like?
Jank-Off so powerfully, yes. All right.
Also a good matchup.
So
I will
chat,
admit,
we need to know.
good matchup.
We need to play more carefully, chat. Just in those couple of 1s and 1 drops and a 3 drop was a lot of power hiding. Just waiting for oh, this is a hand. Waiting for that Starscape cleric to come down. Our opponent sanctifying the hinterlands.
Basically, what I'm saying is in this deck,
Sure.
the Bloodthirsty Conqueror is just a 5th copy of Starscape Cleric. Okay. Well, I guess the nice thing about Bloodthirsty Conqueror is I don't need to offspring the Cleric and I don't need Delny. But it's not my preferred method of winning because it takes longer.
Yeah, it's a 2-piece combo as opposed to a multi-piece combo. Chat, we should have binned this probably. What we want is just more of these.
I think
we want to get to
I can't
5.
let you have that.
Okay.
I finally decided to put Sheltered by Ghosts in a deck because the lifelink. I know it's a good card, but people really expect it and they know how to play around it. And, you know, that's the death of Jank, is when people know what you're going to do. Because then they can play around it. See, the beauty of Jank, folks, is when you bring Jank to the ladder, people don't know how to play around it because they've never seen it before. Then they have to spend time figuring out what the heck it is you're doing. Why would he discard that? That's weird.
It is weird.
It's fun that she has a ward now.
Yep, she has counters on her. Ward 1. I take care of my Lily. Okay, so it will trigger initial.
Yeah.
No, it's still
this is why I run more of the doll than I do Innocence, because Innocence is hard capped at 1, so Delny doesn't actually work with it. But I like Innocence because it's a good card. I don't know. I don't have to explain myself to you.
It's quite a good card.
Alright.
Accept.
I'm gonna ward Delny, which means he can't really attack anymore. I'm not gonna ward Delny. This is the reason.
Nowhere to run.
This is the reason that the amount of time. What I'm saying about playing Sheltered by Ghost, that happens so much when I try, because people expect it. They know. They get under it.
I'm just gonna take your last card.
Yeah, you should, because it was.
Wow, all 3.
Yep. making an appearance.
You're gonna need a good
I learned my lesson from last
Alright.
time.
Well, I have bad news.
It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, I started with the combo in hand. All I needed was lands to get there. Lands in time. GG.
Boom. Wow, this is quite the jank. Gotta say.
We finally have, like, actual combo deck versus combo deck. Usually, we haven't gotten there. Usually, it's some mid-range versus control kind of deal.
I mean, you do know how
Most
much
typical.
I like beating people down. What do I... If I'm gonna do all this, what do I end up removing? I mean, I know. I forgot that this was a new best of one, so I was like, where's all the sideboard deck I put in? What am I doing?
Yeah, that's part of the reason I played the way I did. I knew you wouldn't have any enchantment removal. I shouldn't say new. I thought you wouldn't. Okay, this is probably fine.
Okay.
It's pretty clear, chat, what cards we should bring in for this matchup. It's a little less clear which we should bring out, but I think we're doing pretty well. Like, I don't think this is a deck where we care about auto beatdown. I've been cutting some of those Storm Chaser talents. This works.
This is good. I'll take it.
I don't love it, but it works.
My courtyards, they are concealed.
I don't know if you keep in Raise the Past post sideboard, but got my one of Ghost Vacuum. Ready to vacuum up those ghosts.
I may or may not have expected that and just decided to ditch the graveyard strategy. I mean, when I play this deck best of 3, I usually ditch the graveyard strategy game 2 anyway. Because, you know, that's what sideboards are for.
Yeah, thankfully we don't have a lot of graveyard hate, so there isn't much of a price to bring it in. And Ghost Vacuum, it's still actually fine. Just as a, okay, as I kill things, I get to put their bodies in my vacuum and then maybe get some value out of them later. Okay. Alice will cause a little scary, so I'll just give them nowhere to run.
There was a time when he was kind of, when I was building this, when he was more important. Because I was trying to get all of the damage in, burn damage in as I could. So like, haha, you get burned when everything dies, you get burned when things live, they come in. But there wasn't enough space in the deck to do all of that and also keep the nice card draw engine.
Yeah, you see it pretty commonly in Raise the Past decks for sure, but...
I think there might be something with him and Mardu, though, with the mobilize mechanic.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mobilize is definitely a breakable mechanic. Is it broken yet? I don't know.
The consensus I've seen is that it's too slow because they have to attack, but, you know, I'm sure people could jank it out. That's interesting. Well, this is going to be a fast one if you can't stop this. Wait, I didn't have the key piece. That's alright. At least I have lifelink.
Yeah, my hand is actually all lands.
Oh no!
So, behold my 6 lands. Here's the best one. It's Mirex. I can kill you over 10 turns with Mirex, but yeah, I'll just let you attack in if you want.
Yeah.
We flooded. The only non-land card we drew was at the Beanstalk, and it of course drew into a land. So I think it was reasonable keeping 2 spells when they're both good spells against you, but well, that was a non-game, unfortunately.
Game 3 again. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't think we changed our sideboard strat.
I think I'm gonna put one thing back in that I had taken out. And I think I'm gonna actually That's probably the better play there. But what do I get rid of in that case? Hope I don't regret that. Hello, Ruxus Sticko. Good to see
I
you.
think we keep.
We are janking off here. I don't.
Welcome to Magic the Gathering standard format jank.
Every
Just
Sunday
keeping
night.
my ins.
Let's frighten you. Are you frightened?
So sadistic. I'm on the verge of fear.
Let's frighten you more.
So many Orzhov 2-drops.
Let's frighten you more.
So many triggers.
I actually want to keep that so she can get her. She can get her triggers.
You're really counting up, aren't you?
You know what? I feel like I'm cheating because she has more than 2 power, but you know, here we are. Oh boy.
I would like to demonstrate that I paid 5 mana for her. Normally she'd start with 6, but that's doubled to 12, and then the completed cost comes in, it says -2. So she comes in with 10 loyalty, which is enough to -9, which is also doubled to 18, but I can keep her talent.
I was so close.
I top decked her. It was the draw step before the last one.
I actually didn't. That's on me because I did have a Sheltered by Ghost, but I didn't,
suspected you
I
had
didn't
removal.
play it because I'm a dummy and I didn't notice you had ranked it all the way up.
Well, you know what? Well, that means we've both lost game 3 of a best of 3 by having the answer in our hand and saying, no, he doesn't really have it. He's not going to do it.
That's good.
So we stand at parity and
Oh,
go to
boy.
our 3rd best of 3.
Wow, look at that. We have to play a 3rd best of 3 even if we didn't want to, but we want to. This is a
Yeah,
good
because
one.
if we don't, then you're going to have to leave the win with me because I won the best of one.
That's true,
can't let the
yeah.
best one
I
decide
can't let
it.
that happen.
I think we did do that once when there was just a very slow episode. I think I was on a control deck or something of some
This is
kind.
bad. Ben, remind me. I've
Yeah.
set a precedent over Jank-Off. Do I keep 1 land hands? I can't remember.
Yeah, you keep them.
I keep them? Okay.
Yeah.
Oops, I hit mulligan.
Oh, no.
I mulliganed into
But
another
you had
1
all
land
the
hand.
answers.
Mulliganed
no.
into another 1 land
Oh.
hand.
I was right. You should have kept. Now you're going to have 1 land and 6 spells.
I am gonna
Or
keep
1 land
this.
and 5 spells.
I am gonna keep. I really hope I draw.
All right, I will present my talent.
And I will present why. Oh, I drew a land. Oh. We're good.
I will present more talent.
So talented.
I am.
Are you gonna present another land? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I usually don't have trouble with enough starting lands in this deck. I think I'm running 26.
Same start as last time.
I would like to present my talent. My utters are utterly warded.
I have to let him through. He's too important. I present me learning from my mistakes.
But my talent.
I get that lifelink.
Okay, interesting. Well, I notice LSL Core seems to be power 3.
Yeah, that is a little rough. I've cheated. Usually, actually, funny enough, my favorite target for Sheltered by Ghost is Hinterland Sanctifier. I feel like
That's fair.
I'm breaking my own rules here, right? Is that... I'm a hypocrite. Alright,
No, it's fine. I was just noting it because now I can stay home and
yeah.
Delny can't make him unblockable. I guess my critter's power 2 anyway. I don't like seeing Amalia.
Alright, she got me a land.
Traumatized by that card
Which
too
I
much.
do like. Because now I can play this. Squeak. I love the little squeak sound effect that they just put for that card when it comes in. Or is that for all toys?
I don't know. I assume it's for all toys.
You've stopped my assault.
Don't wanna attack in? Okay. I would like to present
Ooh.
Indestructibility.
Alright, so let me think. Odd. 0 is even, right?
0's even.
And even is the she can do her thing. Sure, I'll do this now.
Okay. I don't love that.
It's not a whole lot of damage, but...
It's gonna add up.
She can block, which makes me sad.
Now she can't.
I'm sure you have a way to get another counter on. There you go.
Looks like we're a little short on green mana for what we want to do. Which talent do you go for now?
So why? What? Explain to the people, because I definitely understand. Why talent over doubling season?
Because doubling season only works on permanents you control. You don't get the Veraska nuke.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, by the way, I want to showcase my only Tarkir card in this deck, Mistrise Village. Unfortunately, it's in the bin.
Oh, it's the blue one. Oh, look at that.
But it's really helpful for grinding out those control matchups where all you have to do is resolve your game-ending combo card, and you win. It helps you do that.
Well, let's
It's
demonstrate
spell uncounterable.
what this baby does.
Yeah.
This is gonna
Ouch.
hurt, Ben.
Yep. I don't really have much life gain in this deck.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I'll attack with the doll.
I'm brave. Ow. Yeah, I'm not really sure how we win this other than finding the combo before we die, but I think we die first. I don't like sacrifice my otter, but... Oh, wait, I probably just die anyway because Valasil Core. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't really have a choice.
Oh, you got one left.
That's nice.
So, what I just demonstrated is why there might be a Mardu rule of 2 at some point in the future.
Unfortunately, I think I'm dead.
Oh, man.
Let me... Oh, there's one answer I could draw. Actually, this is a pre-board game. I don't think I even have that in the deck. Nope. Actually, is there any way I can cause my own death? I think there is.
Ooh, do it. You gonna kill something?
I think... Yeah, I think if something dies, then
Yep.
Elcor kills me.
Boom.
Boop.
Thank you. Thank you for doing
I
my
had no
dirty work
regard.
for me. Alright, we got a
All
game,
right.
huh? We got a
Sideboard
game.
plan remains the same, I believe.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see some of these other sideboard texts that you haven't got to see. I hope it doesn't cost me the game, but I'm gonna sideboard some things in just because we haven't gotten to see them yet. but this is the way of the jank and me.
Good.
Yeah, so this deck relies a lot less on Return to the Past than the Boros one did, especially with the tremors and everything. But just because, I don't know, I feel like I have enough ways to trigger life gain, life loss than filling up my graveyard and casting Return. I mean, I can do the
Why
same.
win with 4 mana card when I could win with 2 mana
Yeah,
card?
exactly. I mean, the only reason I keep Bloodthirsty Conqueror in here is because he's cool, and because he's a 5th copy of. He's just another way if I can't get Doni to win. Right, I need to make cuts. Hold on. There's a cut. There's a cut. Another thing about Charming Prince is he also, one of his options is gain 3 life, which is nice.
Yep, that can be a burn mode when you have your combo being assembled. All right, folks, we need to see our sideboard cards, we need to not flood out, and we need to have a reasonable path to the combo. I don't think Sabsunin really cuts it in this matchup. Our opponent only really runs exile removal, it seems like. That's okay. Sabsunin's just a minor aspect of this deck.
That's a keep.
My cottage, so restless.
Oh,
My
shoot.
inn, so talented.
I've made a mistake. Oh, my draw saved me.
Well, that's good to hear. We'll have a game. Your players assembling.
They assemble. That is probably my favorite turn 2 play, honestly. Perfect curve. What's the perfect curve for your deck? I think mine is turn 1, Hinterland Sanctifier, turn 2, assemble the players.
The winning, like the quickest win is turn 1 you can, Storm Chaser's Talent. There's not really a downside to doing it, but sorry, just a moment, I'm thinking. We'll just do this. And this. And that. And pass. But the important thing is, the quickest one is turn 2, Innkeeper's Talent, turn 3, level 2, Innkeeper's Talent, turn 4, level 3, Innkeeper's Talent, turn 5, Rascal, and that's just an immediate win. But,
FYI, the mistake I made when I'm not mulliganing is
dang it.
I forgot that Verges don't turn white unless you have one of these.
I see, yeah. Well, they're right now. I really made a misplay.
I hope these map tokens don't save you.
Okay.
Do they save you? Are you
I
saved?
think so.
Ooh.
I think so. I should have done that before you played your doll. I'm hoping that Get Lost wasn't one of the things you drew. Actually, we can map on our cottage. This town. Yeah, we kind of want that.
No! Oh, I didn't want that. I didn't want you to do that. That made me sad.
What? Raise the Past doesn't get it. What does?
Oh.
You're not running Black Overlord, right?
No. No, that's too much mana, even at 3. That's the reason
No, you
enduring
impended it too.
enduring the Oh really? I thought all the overlords impended at 3.
Nope. Black is at 2, and the white one and red one are at
I'm gonna
4.
have to take another
And
look
then
then.
green and blue are 3.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Okay. My lord! That's my lord!
Your only lord. Subscribe to his only lords. Or
Yeah, please.
check out, subscribe. I don't.
I don't know what you do.
I don't
for
know
Lonely
what the
Lords.
phrase is.
Oh, sure. That's our most fun game-winning combo card. Don't mind me at 20 life, just making my food, baking my bread, in my cottage so restless.
Yeah. You made me sad when you took out my dummy.
I apologize, but I'm not sorry.
No, I get
I would
it.
make the same decision again in a heartbeat. That's concerning. I'm not going to be at 20 life anymore.
Fear the mighty
Yeah, I think
hinterland sanctifier.
I think that's concerning enough to warrant a deadly cover-up.
Oh boy.
Let's just get those clerics out of your deck.
Oh boy. And my hand.
Oh, yeah. And your hand.
I had 3.
All right, let's see if
ready
there's
to
anything
go.
else interesting going on. You wanted to show off sideboard cards, so here I go looking.
You see my... It's in my hand. The one that I wanted to...
All right, we got some Voice of Victory.
Mm-hmm.
Strategic Betrayal. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard. That is good against Sabsunin. All right.
In my hand
And in your
was...
hand, Phyrexian Missionary.
Yeah.
I had that thought, but I'm like, you're not going to actually run that. I think I suggest that for Boros.
So, yeah...
No, for some other rule, too.
No, it was back when I was... Did you know that the first version of Rule 2 was a Mardu deck? Anyway.
Is there a creature on top of your deck? I guess it doesn't matter because you're going to draw it anyway.
Why would I tell you that?
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. Just want to slow you down.
Yeah, because... Well, the reason So, I went with Phyrexian Missionary. I took out the Helping Hands, which is part of the core white package. And I replaced with Phyrexian Missionary because she has lifelink, which I thought is nice. And she's a 2-power creature. So...
Yeah, but is it nice in a deck where you're actively avoiding making your creatures stronger than 2 power? Lifelink is good when you can stack it with buffs and counters and
Lifelink is just one of the many ways that I can trigger life gain. So if I have my graveyard recurring and my life gain, I don't know. I was gonna try it,
That's
but
fair.
now I'm not.
Okay, players are assembling. Question is, what game are you playing?
All right, this is a card that I actually didn't get to test all that much. So we'll see what happens. It's a bard. I know how much you like bards.
Bards. A human bard. Okay.
Oh,
I may have forgotten
I've
Voice
made
of
a
Victory's
mistake.
non-mobilized text.
I should have taken your. I should have taken your food. That was a mistake.
Maybe, but I should have interacted on my turn instead of trying to do it on yours.
Voice of Victory might have been an okay sideboard. I don't know if it's gonna ever make the main deck, but such is the problem with mobilizers. I want those tokens now. I don't want to have to attack for them. It's kind of
Let's learn our lesson and just do this now, as we should have. Keep making our cottage stronger. Make some more bread.
Oh, thank you. Assemble the players. Okay.
Those players do be assembling.
I don't think Phyrexian Missionary is gonna make the cut.
Okay. I think Amalia is scary enough that she will be eclipsed.
Ooh, well, you got me top decking.
Unfortunately, you do have an extra tool for top decking.
It's true, but I can tell you with that tool, this next card's not gonna help.
Well, the card under it might, and then assemble the players lets you touch that.
That one's not gonna help either.
Okay.
But I
Gotta
didn't
eat
know
my
that at the
food.
time. Am I gonna die to cottage?
Cottage cheese coming your way.
Now you need to make that a deck. You know that, right? You just willed it into existence.
No, that's your style.
That's true.
Alright, I will turn my cottage into a 2-turn clock.
Oh, that's rough, buddy.
Voice of Victory is more scary overall, but Sanctifier is a combo piece. Actually, wait, no, I took out your combo, didn't I? This is the game where I...
Yeah, you took out the...
Deadly cover-up. Okay, then that was the wrong decision, but oh well. Wait, look at this delicious cottage cheese token.
More players! Assemble more players! No, I'm dead.
Alright, well, my hand is full of interaction anyway, so if it...
My top card's
helps.
a land.
Okay, yeah. Well, at least we both had a bad flat-out game then.
That's right. That's magic, baby.
Well, you won the first one, right? So, and this is the second. I can't quite see my display.
Yeah, this game decides.
This is game 3?
This is the decider game for the Power Jank Award.
All right, buckle up, folks. We're gonna get sweaty.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think Subsunin is just not the thing.
I don't think Phyrexia Missionary worked out, though I'm gonna say that and regret it. Yeah, you are very enchantment heavy, aren't you? Now I'm actually
So
thinking.
heavy.
Now I'm thinking.
No, I'm enchantment light. I'm a planeswalker deck. Got any planeswalker removal in there?
And for sheltered by ghost. Soft removal. Like I don't.
It's
want
kind of
to
nice that
take out
99% of your
Bloodthirsty.
stuff.
I don't want to take out Bloodthirsty Conqueror because I haven't gotten to do it yet. But people have seen that combo, right?
Probably.
Okay.
It was pretty popular when Foundations came out.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is a creature that doesn't die to nowhere to run, unlike 99% of your deck.
Yes. I need bigger butts. That's what I need. I need to find ETB creatures.
Don't
with
we
bigger
all?
Butts. Would it be insane if I ran 41? Because I don't want to make another.
It would be insane to run 41 because that's illegal. Now 61,
Oh right.
probably still insane, but I wouldn't. You know, you can.
Yeah. No. One of these things.
Have you been drafting a lot? You've got draft on the brain.
Yeah. Exactly. I always draft a lot.
Yeah.
You know that.
Chat, how much have you all been enjoying the format? Tarkir,
I've been
Dragon
enjoying it a
Storm.
lot. I learned I stand for Abzan. It's everything I ever wanted in color pairs.
I think consensus is that that's the best 3-color from Tarkir.
That's not why it's my favorite,
In
no.
limited, at least. But
Whether or not
No, but
something
in
is the best
context.
has nothing to do with whether or not why it's my favorite. You know that about me.
the audience might care more.
That's true.
I think
I've
been
learned that I'm in the
liking Sultai
minority
and
that
Mardu.
actually I also have learned based on reading the internet that I am in I can't keep this hand. I am in the minority in the fact that I can't keep this hand either. This isn't good. I am in the minority of people that like the purple armor.
the purple what?
The purple armor. Apparently people don't like it. But I think
Oh, I
that's
haven't-
probably just because
I guess
all
I
of
missed a little bit.
those are the people that know what they look like before, but I wasn't around. I just saw like sick purple armor. I was like, oh, that's sick.
Yes, it's supposed to be black. Like,
I looked
Colors
back
are-
at the old cons. They're wearing like white scale armor.
that sounds neater.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
like
I said.
purple,
I'm in the. I'm
That's
in
a
the
really
minority.
expensive dye. Like,
I don't wanna
are they
put-
really just dyeing leather and putting it on their battle
I
armor?
don't want to put any of these back. So I'll put that one back. This isn't good, Ben. I'm in a bad spot.
Well, maybe this rail will help. Okay, interesting. We can't cast all the cards in our hand either.
This will hopefully help. Well, I can cast all the cards in my hand, hence why I ditched the land. Things are starting to look up a little bit.
Sheltered. Okay.
Super ward. Not that it matters. I thought I was going to show you the nifty thing I learned about wards firing twice with Delny, but obviously that doesn't matter if the person has black in their deck.
I don't think any of my stuff cares about ward, actually. I guess this town ain't big enough. But usually when I'm casting this town ain't big enough, it's because I have nowhere to run out and I'm picking it up.
I'd cast this. Oh. I'm so used to just automatically getting my life gain triggers on enter, I forget when it doesn't happen, why it's not happening. That's why I cast that pre-combat. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get some quick life gain and pump her up to 4-2. 4-3. It's fine. Tap land. Your draw's not being great, Ben? Are you just waiting?
The draws have not been great. Okay, so seeing that there's a sheltered on top of your deck, I have to play this not how I want to play this.
Oh, that's good. We'd like to hear that.
Hold my 7/6. But so I know that you have an answer on top of your deck.
The sideboard tech. I had one in my hand.
Okay.
Tarkir!
So you get to eat my Overlord and shelter.
And put her above. Above range of nowhere to run. And that's a good top card.
That would be pretty sick if I wasn't just casting Liliana fairly.
Oh, you get everything back.
I go down to 1 life. I bet you could piece of win together from 1 life.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I'd honestly... I would... I shouldn't say that. Oh, wait.
I guess I'm casting Vraska fairly also. Making a conqueror into a treasure.
Yeah, I was going to say I think I'd rather you remove that than what you see is in my hand. Alright, fine.
Hold, chat, hold. This 1 life is going to have to be enough. I can't even plus, well, 0 Vraska, because then I die. That'd be funny if I forgot that.
Remember, I can swing under that zombie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, funny thing, in testing, I had one person turn... They were playing Kite Sail, the blue card that turns one of my things into treasure. And that killed them because they didn't realize I had core on the board. They had 1 health. So, I killed it. And I guess that still triggered core? I don't know. It's something like that. I don't remember exactly. No, I think it gave me the mana to cast 1 more thing, is what happened. That seems more right. Because it's not a creature anymore, right? The Bloodthirsty Conqueror. No, it's an artifact treasure. Well, I'd be more concerned about taking 8 if I didn't have 34 health.
I guess the safest thing to do is just let you treasure this moment also.
Okay. I treasure it. That's not immediately gonna win, but it might. It might help. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And...
Clench. Clench, folks.
I don't have a way to kill you right now. Let's see what happens.
Well, I have a way to kill you.
No!
Now.
Please no!
Behold, 2nd Vraska.
Wait, Planeswalkers combine?
Hmm?
How did they just combine?
They didn't combine. I put 2 on the board and said, okay, which one do you want to go to the graveyard? Sorry, which one do you want to keep?
Oh, okay.
And I kept the one that just came down.
That makes sense.
Oh, clench! That was so rough.
I had another Delny in my hand, just so you know. But it didn't matter at that
I had
point.
nowhere to run in my hand. It wouldn't have mattered because of Voice of Victory, but I was. If I didn't have my other Vraska, I still would have been able to remove your voice and have nowhere to run up. No, I needed a lot of things to come together. So this was kind of fair win, and then I drew the second Vraska and had the combo win. So
I really thought I was gonna get the Power Jank award this time. I really did.
it was so dang close.
I thought I had it. All right. I'm happy with that.
Hopes
though.
crushed.
I think that was good.
Dreams
I think that was
shattered.
good. I'll get it someday. You know, people out there, they're rooting for me. You know, everyone likes the underdog. However, you are the underdog when it comes to the jankiest jank. So we gotta. I don't know what to do with that one. I mean, we're both playing weird. Well, here's the thing. Why I would be inclined to give it to you. Believe it or not, I do see Poison Winds on the ladder a lot. And I know that still surprises you, but you know how matchmaking is. In fact, more so recently. I don't know. I feel like I died to poison 5 times in the testing of this deck, so it's kind of funny that you brought a poison deck, but I've never seen it done this way.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, you usually probably meet Dimir spells based poison, right?
Yeah, and mine is just like classic life gain, life loss combo done in a very me kind of way. So, I mean, I think you might get both. Which is why I was really going all out for the Power Jank. I thought I could get it this time.
I thought you could too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Our worst matchup, we should talk matchups. Our worst matchup in this deck is highly aggressive creature decks. That's why everything that's not combo is basically removal. Mm-hmm. I suppose we have a little card drawing ramp, but that's because we need to get to the combo fast sometimes. A lot of our strategy against surviving aggro is remove your stuff with nowhere to run, bounce it with this turn big enough, but that's not good against you because you like your ETBs. Block it with Sabsunin, but that's not good because Delny makes it Sabsunin unable to block basically against your whole deck. Remove it with Planeswalkers, which is not good because you go wide instead of tall. Like Liliana of the Veil's pretty good against mono red when they're just riding 1 or 2 mice to victory, but if you're just spamming out a ton of 1/1s and 2/2s, then you need board wipes, and those are all on our sideboard, thankfully, but I thought you had the edge here. I was able to assemble the combo enough, basically. I had no aggro wins. Sometimes that's what I have to do against control decks, is Storm Chaser's talent into Innkeeper's talent and just beat down. Maybe stick a Planeswalker for value, but little auto tokens go a lot of the way sometimes. But that's not an option against your deck. There was no circumstance where I felt I could race. So it's just survive until combo, and somehow we were able to do that. So yeah, I think I will agree that the Jank Award is the Inn of the Plains again.
Great name,
because
by the way.
Innkeeper's talent's a crazy. I'm not exactly happy with it, but I need this centerpiece Innkeeper's talent because that's the glue card of the whole deck. That works with all the synergies. It is pretty janky to just my game plan is immediately ultimate all my Planeswalkers, and they all have ultimates that win the game.
Yeah.
I did like your Delny angle though. I liked how you took kind of 2 established archetypes. You have the Raise the Past angle, which we mostly didn't see, which is understandable. Conqueror combo.
I don't need Raise the Past as a main win condition, which is why I kind of like de-incentivize it a little bit, but keep it around. The main win condition is have Delny on the board and either one of the 5 cards in the deck or 6 cards in the deck that gain life on ETB, or even just like my life gain land. And Offspring Cleric, that's how I usually win. Sometimes if I'm playing against mono green, I just beat them to death.
You play against mono green?
I play against the occasional big green creatures deck. It's never mono green. I shouldn't have said that.
That's fair.
It's never mono green, but there are still some big green creature decks in my matchmaking. Thankfully, they're fun to see. I have been smashed by Mossborn Hydra for 200 before.
Sounds about right.
Usually I'm able to just slip under all of them and beat them down before they can get me, and the deck is actually pretty strong against mono red aggro just because of the sheer amount of life gain. I had a mono red aggro,
sure.
monstrous rage 3, 4 times, 5 times. We got all the way to 7 mana and they still hadn't killed me because I kept gaining life like a rubber band. They'd get me down to 2 and then my turn I'd be at 20, and then they'd get me down to 2 and then my turn I'd be at 18, and I don't know. I know it's hard to see emotion in this game unless they're emoting, but I could imagine that would really frustrate a mono red player who's doing everything right but still can't kill me.
It's fair. That's an angle that I hadn't really thought about when looking at the matchup between our decks.
It's really hard to beat me down. It's really, really hard. Like, if you don't get my life to 0, I get it back into the high teens in a single turn, usually.
Yeah, I did get to that conclusion that it's like the Stormcatcher's Talent beatdown never was going to work.
I am pretty weak against other combo decks, though, because if they assemble theirs before mine, because mine's not the fastest combo in the world. I sacrifice combo speed for the ability to beat down at will because I can't stop myself. Because that's just how I like to win. You know that. People who've been watching.
The fact that we have this
yeah, your combo's a little faster than mine. My game-winning combo is... I have a 2-card winning combo, but it's mostly a 3-card combo.
I mean, it's also turn 5, right?
Yeah,
we
is
both
turn
have a turn 5
yeah.
combo.
But I have to have more things go right, I think.
And it's not a guaranteed win either.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it do 17 damage.
Yeah, but if someone's gained life or stabilized the board well in those intervening turns, whereas
you know what?
all I need is 2 pieces and lands.
I've never run into this while testing this deck, but I would assume some kind of white-based life gain deck would be a real struggle for me if they went hard in it. But you don't see that, so.
No, the only mono white deck I don't even see it that much anymore. Usually they're splashing red or blue or both.
The only mono white deck I run into is Angels Tribal.
You play Angels?
I've seen Angels Tribal several times.
I don't know the last time I've seen when have I ever seen Angels?
Usually the centerpiece is Elspeth the Planeswalker, whichever version makes... Not the new one. The new one's sweet.
The new one is insane. Well, very good.
The new one almost made it in this deck, but it was too slow. But I have other ideas for it. Yeah.
Just a really incredible Planeswalker. A lot of the times, the ultimate on Planeswalker is something you never really get to. Some of the best Planeswalkers are Planeswalkers that don't ultimate. They just have 3 solid abilities that can all be used the turn they come down. Elspeth has that, plus a very useful passive line of text. So, very good Planeswalker. Keep your eye out for that one on the ladder, folks. I guess with that...
I'm going to do it once. Yeah, she didn't make it in this deck. She is in this deck. If I play her, she wins. But I mean, so does the Bloodthirsty Conqueror. So I'm trying not to have too many, more than just 1 5 in this deck. But yeah, I don't know. I might try it. I didn't test it enough, probably, because I mean, the other thing is her ability doesn't. She's not a 2-power creature. If I can do the same thing with a 2-power or less creature, I'm going to take the 2-power or less creature.
That is the way of the jank.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We're looking at a local time of about 8:30. Do we want a bonus game or...
Let me see what I have. Let me see what I have.
I think usually we do a bonus game at this juncture. We could just do a best of 1, maybe. No, actually, well, depends on the decks. We could do best of 1 or best of 3. Depending on the decks.
What do I have? I could pull out Rule of 2 Boros just for comparison. You may be tired of that.
Oh no, it's fine. I can play something else.
Have I done any janking? Like I'm tinkering with some old janks, but none of them like, you know. You know what? Why don't I pull out my other Orzhov? Why don't I go back to Exodus real quick? See how that shapes up.
Let's see what would be a good, a reasonable matchup against that.
I haven't made any changes or improvements since I played it, but
All right, what do you want to play against? Which card discard or one of my mono green decks, either the creature deck or the Nissa deck?
Which card sounds fine?
Which card? All right. Let's do it. I'll send the challenge. And these are both slow decks, so we'll just start with the best of one and see where we stand.
Yeah.
For our bonus game.
So this is not a life gain, life loss, or Jank-Off deck.
It's just a life loss workshop deck.
Yeah, that's right.
Draw a card, lose a life. Draw a card, lose a life. Draw a card, lose a life. Well, that'll be very good against a discard deck if you can keep Ketramos on the board.
It's true. He is indestructible, so
we'll
you
keep.
need exile-based removal and board wipes. Wait, no, board wipe. Do board wipes work against indestructible? I'm thinking of
exile
hexproof.
wipes.
Yeah.
I can't, for example, deadly cover up you. But Sunfall would work.
Right, against discard decks, I actually learned it's more important to discard your spells than your lands early. Okay. I can't remember.
Lily's back. This time she's just being played fairly.
Hello again. I'm gonna go back on my own words and discard a land.
That's fair.
Let's drop. Why? Okay.
What's the Moses?
Yep.
Oh man, chat, are we gonna do the bad thing?
The bad thing. Remove
Yeah.
the centerpiece card from the entire deck.
How did you know?
I tend to do this.
Comparatively,
This is one of those, oh, cool card, let's jank around it decks. So,
oh, okay. So like the nice thing to do is just -2 Lily and Ketramos dies. Which why did you play him into that?
you know, I used most of my mental energy on those best of threes.
That's fair. Okay. Well then I guess you'll suffer the consequences. The end has come for Ketramos. Let's see what that hand is. It does matter because I have some things I want to do. Let's just get all those gone. For example, I'm seeing that this Aklazotz is really bad against your exercise, so I'm just going to pitch that.
I mean, I mean, I'm not gonna pitch it.
Yeah, I'm pitching my Aklazotz because
Oh, okay, yeah.
you're going to keep your exercise.
Yeah.
All right, Lily Ultimate's coming.
You don't do graveyard stuff on that deck. Do you? I don't remember. In any case, I don't know. I'm just gonna...
Yep, makes sense.
Drop it.
Well, I've emptied my own hand.
Coming in. Look out.
Well, that will prevent Lily from ultimating. If I didn't have a blocker!
Ah! It's a Landa! A rumble in the jungle.
I'm actually really greedy. I'm gonna plus again, because I'm still getting cards off you. and not losing any myself. So
Pit of Offerings is
Nice.
really good in catch most decks.
but yours is no longer a catch most.
No, it is not. It's I don't even know what the win con is right now. I'm just gonna draw cards.
Jank-Off, bonus game. Yeah.
I don't think this has any targets. Oh, that counts.
Hmm?
That's a creature.
No, my sanctuary. I think because of the timing rules, we can do something tricky here and destroy all 1-drops,
Ooh,
and it won't get exiled.
that's useful to know.
And we could ultimate. But this is a deck that's designed to get empty-handed, and I'd rather just do that.
Like, what would I lose? Just some lands?
Yeah. I mean, I'll get to it.
Oh,
but-
look, that's a good draw.
Okay.
Knew this was a waste of time.
You can see my deck now.
one.
How often, folks, do you have a game where you cast the end on each other?
Let me guess. Discard, 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 take damage. Removal. Yep. Looks about right. Well, you've done it. I have nothing and you have everything.
By everything,
A ghost vacuum.
we both have one creature land.
A ghost vacuum and a soulstone sanctuary.
Your fortress is restless.
Okay.
This is going to be a really slow clock if
That's
I
right.
can't block your fortress without...
I don't even
until
know why
it-
I'm doing
because
this. Oh yeah, that's right.
You're going to gain... You're going to gain 2 life every turn and then lose 3 each turn.
TikTok.
So currently, if we just go land versus land, I have you on a 15-turn clock.
You can beat me for 3 every time though. Is the problem? Well, no, all right, because I gain 2 back. Yep.
I hit for 3, you gain for 2. But I just drew another basically creature land. This will increase my clock significantly.
You have Murex too. Don't forget.
Yep.
In we go. This is magic as Garfield intended.
You're right. You're actually gonna if this continues, you're actually win. Because I'm losing 2 each time, even though I'm blocking.
Yep.
Definitely not gonna forget to activate my Murex.
The year is 1989. Richard Garfield's in his office saying, "I want to make a game where people just animate lands and beat each other with them."
Bop lands.
That doesn't do anything because all of my removal, so much of my removal is like based on me sacrificing something. Okay. And
Don't forget, someday I'll be able to pop this ghost vacuum and
It's
get
true.
a novice inspector. And nothing else.
And I can't sack my land. That's my only win con. I'm not gonna sack my land to exile your land.
We just drew something.
What is the creature type on Restless Fortress? Nightmare. This is not.
I present the kill spell I found.
No! My fortress! This is definitely a memorable bonus match.
Bonus game. Just 2 decks that really are hell-bent on leaving the opponent with nothing. Alright. Let's see what cards you had in hand.
No, I can't use any of them because they all need to sacrifice something.
Really?
Yeah. To do anything. Alright, I got 1 shot. That's helpful. It does something. I don't think it's enough.
What does it do? I don't know what Kaya does. I can't read Kaya. The words are too wrong.
Creates a 1/1 token!
What? Okay, I can read the +1, but then what is that passive ability? That's 5 lines of text. What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh?
That's not enough words for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Judge, I would like a deck check on my opponent. They have Yu-Gi-Oh cards in their deck.
Blue eyes,
I
white
thought this was
dragon.
Magic the Gathering.
All right, this is meaningless, but I just want to rob you of everything you love. And by that I mean your soul-sown sanctuary.
No, my soul, take not my soul. It's an elf, you know. And a nightmare.
All right.
And a crab. And a homerid.
And a merfolk.
Okay, so we win with poison and damage simultaneously. Now that's some satisfying jank.
All right. This
All right,
jank
folks.
is
Hope
in
you
my...
enjoyed the bonus game.
I certainly did. Listen. Black Oops All Exile versus Black Mono Black Discard is okay between two consensual friends.
Yes. Bring only to a play group that you trust.
Exactly.
Have a pre-game conversation with.
Make sure you have a conversation beforehand.
Consent is everything. Communication makes for good janking
Well,
off.
this was one of our better Jank-Offs, I think.
All right.
That is good. I've been excited to get the second Rule of 2 out, and, I hopefully will complete the set. I have to find win conditions the other ones, because it's harder to find win conditions than in the other colors that, green kind of laughs at any creature that's 2 power or less and says, why do you exist if you're not a mana dork?
Yeah, I don't know what you'd be doing in green.
And or counters, which is counterintuitive, pun intended.
Yeah.
And blue has a lot of nifty bounce effects, but usually for generating more value, not for win conditions.
Ooh, I got it. I got it for green. There's a lot of low power creatures with the toxic mechanic
Ooh, that's true.
in white and green. So I bet you could do Celestia Toxic was kind of almost a meta deck back in when All Will Be One came out. A lot of those had triggered abilities, like Rot Priest. Venerated Rot Priest has a triggered ability that Downley could really soup up. A lot of them are power 2 or less to make unblockable, and unblockable toxic creatures are pretty potent. So
I think the way that a Rule of 2 Azorius would end up being a control deck, because you could do a lot of double stunning. A lot of creatures that send things back to hand would send 2 things back to hand.
and creatures that give you value, like drawing cards or
Exactly, yeah.
pulling cards out of your deck.
So
Or
that would be a control deck.
Micromancer's 3/3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you're gonna do Celestia Toxic, do it soon. All Be One is in the next block of sets that rotate.
Oh, that's fair. Which is September, right?
Something like late summer, early fall.
Yeah, I'm
somewhere in
trying
there.
not to craft those cards, but we'll see if I already have some of them.
A lot of them are uncommons. A lot of the ones you care about are uncommons. I
as you
think
know,
Rot Priest.
I'm somehow
Rot Priest might be the
uncommon
rare.
deficient.
Oh, you're uncommon deficient too. An uncommon situation. All right.
Well, it happens when you jank so hard and you're like, it's just uncommon, and then you do that like a bunch, and then you're like, where are all my uncommon?
We've been doing it a bunch, folks, and we're keeping on doing it.
And we're gonna keep it.
Join us again next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 11 p.m. UTC for reference elsewhere in the world. We are bringing a new Jank standard deck every week. I've already got mine for next week brewed up. I'll tell you, there's some footsteps coming. Some footsteps coming.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I've been working on one that was almost ready, but not quite. But I might have gotten enough Tarkir cards at that point to do something with that as well. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I've been enjoying some Tarkir draft. I've already got enough jank in the pocket to draft a bit, and that's been fun. So hope y'all are enjoying the set. It's a great limited environment.
It is a very
we're still
good
waiting to
limited
see
environment,
what
yeah.
kind of impact the cards will have on standard, but there's definitely some in there that have a place. What I'm watching out for is if there's going to be any real new decks.
I'm running into mostly the same decks adding Tarkir cards, but that's kind of how it goes, I would assume, for every set release. For example, there's that new equipment that Mono Red has been playing. That comes in and makes a
Oh,
token
yep.
and gives it prowess and trample and
Quarry Steel Cutter
yep.
is an insane card. When I read that, it took me a couple times to read it and fully grasp what it did. But I don't know how that card got printed.
I've seen it. It was used against me a couple times in testing. It was basically the exact same mono red deck, but now with an equipment that makes more aggressive red creatures.
What I've been seeing is people putting it in Izzet, actually, where you
Yes,
can get a lot of 1-mana cantrips.
I did see that too. Yeah, is it aggro? You know what? Kudos.
If
Though.
you're cantripping on 1 mana, that means you can keep triggering the Steel Cutter and keep putting these dang prowess monk tokens into play that also get +1/+1 and trample and haste. We'll see how it goes, folks. I think if I have to pick a single card to impact the actual competitive meta, it might be Steel Cutter.
Is it aggro does sound funny though. Yeah, I had ideas of making an Is it aggro deck at some point based on Marauding Mako and stuff, but I never got around to it. I don't know. I didn't.
Not your style?
It's not really my style. I mean, the reason I would have done it is just because whenever I jank, one of the possibilities I think of is let's do color, but the opposite of thing that color pair usually does. And that was literally my first jank ever. Remember, our first jank was mono red control versus mono blue aggro.
Yes, indeed.
So,
Check out our episode 1, folks, in the series. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's in a playlist. You can watch any of the videos in the playlist. On episode 15, there's 14 episodes that you can catch up on of janky goodness. Deck lists are in all the descriptions and will continue to be. So
that's right.
Thanks, y'all, for watching. We had some great jank today, and I'm looking forward to next week so much.
It's going to be fun.
Hope to see y'all then.